Hi Deepika. Welcome
Yeah,
to
ma'am.
LegalEdge through your LLB YouTube channel. And I'm super excited to have you. I was really looking forward to this interview. You've had like a very, very interesting journey, and I wanted to take that story out there for a lot of other students to feel extremely inspired, motivated, and if at all they are stuck for like finally taking that decision for themselves, they have the right source of motivation and inspiration to move forward. So welcome. And let's just start with, so I have like this tradition ritual that I always start off with this question, and I know that my students don't have an answer to it, but how does it feel for prepping up for a new journey? IIT Kharagpur it is.
Exciting. It's exciting, and I'm ready for what it brings.
What was your reaction when it seen your name? So IIT is like extremely competitive, and not just in terms of the paper, but I think the eligibility is a real barrier. You have to
Yes,
be
ma'am.
from a certain background to be eligible for in the first place for IIT. So how what was that immediate reaction when you first seen your name that you have the selection?
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, there was the roll number, not the names. No, they sent us the offer letter. So first, I was not able to believe that I got into it, but as I processed it, I was extremely happy.
Now I think the moment is walk us through your journey. So I already know it, and we've already had this discussion that it's pretty inspiring because you've had your challenges and the way you have switched and now going for law. So walk us through.
So, ma'am, I have done my schooling from Dehradun, and then I did zoology honors from Gargi College, Delhi University, bachelor's in zoology. Then I have done MSc in clinical embryology. I've just completed last month my MSc from MIT University. So uh, the course was like the second year in MSc, we have to do our fellowship also. So first year was theory and second year was all we have to work in a IVF center. So with all that, I had managed my studies and all. Whenever I used to find free time, I used to study there also. And this is how then, while working there, I thought I should try something else and move move to something that provides me more growth and which is more challenging. So then I chose for law.
So like unconventional is the word that comes to my mind.
Yeah.
And so from science to then gravitating or this entire career switch to law, what were the parameters that you assessed, the pros and cons while deciding? Because see, mostly so something that I have observed with students that whatever it is that they're doing in their undergrad, they'll go for masters, more conventional choices, masters, MBA maybe. Law, I feel, is still very underexplored. I mean, it offers a gazillion opportunities, and it's not given the due weightage. Students should start to consider it as like the third career avenue. So, what were the parameters that you looked into while deciding it as the next chapter in your career?
Mom, I didn't take it that like not a prop. I don't have a proper answer to it, but it was like I just know I want to do this for now. I was somewhat sure in my mind, like I have to do this.
Clicked.
Yeah, it
The,
clicked.
the, the generation and the vibes. So it just clicked.
Yeah,
And was it difficult to convince your parents or family that, listen, you've already done your undergrad, then your master's, and now you want to go for law? They're completely
a
different.
very little bit. It was my parents are very supportive. So a little bit because switching from clinical embryology where I could get a job easily after MSc, and IVF is booming these days. So getting a job after working and learning all that experience, so they were like, law is quite, you don't know what will happen, yeah, where it will take you. But finally, when I said that I want to do it, they were ready. Okay, if you want to do it, that's your
Very
choice.
interestingly, so once I discussed it with you, I did little research myself to like understand the undergrad and the postgrad degrees a little better. So it's a niche. If you actually complement it with law, you can also think about working in this specific sector because
Yes,
there
ma'am.
are a lot of legal implications also and legal aspects to IVF as well. I mean, niche. So medicine and all elite laws associated with it. So if you kind of look at it, it's actually both complement each other, and you'll be able to leverage that. You'll always have an edge in these matters because you'll have a lot of first-hand experience and empirical data to supplement your practice, etc. So that way, I think an interesting take. So moving forward, like when did you start preparing? How was the journey? Uh, how often did you? So with the IIT Kharagpur, the paper pattern syllabus is such that you're also to practice maths, science, which is relatively like tougher. It's 11th grade, 11th, 12th, and you're like expected of it. So how did you solve mocks? How were the mocks helpful? How was the journey, etc.?
Ma'am, just give me a 1 minute break. There is a noise outside.
Yeah, yeah,
Then
take
I'll
your time.
start with it.
Yeah, sure.
Hello. Actually, ma'am, there is some construction work going on, so there will be a
No, no,
little
it's
disturbance. So
absolutely
sorry for
fine.
that.
It's okay. Apologies to our audience for the hiccup, but we'll continue. Yeah. So starting off, just walk us through how was the experience, mocks, everything. Meanwhile, if all attending the session, if you guys have any questions, please drop it in the comment section. We'll be and or the chat box. We'll be more than happy to take them up.
So, ma'am, I started this in June last year. In June, in a month, I have decided I have to pursue this. So I've started the preparation. I talked with Rahul sir on the online, so he guided me through it, like how the process and all. And he was a great help throughout the year. Then doing that, after after joining, then I started studying little by little because it was quite new to me.
Of course.
Everything, like so I started GK, current affairs, and everything. And RSMs were really helpful, especially for current affairs, the bulletins. I was too much grateful for those bulletins because reading newspaper daily was not that easy for me because I have to work 9 to 6. Therefore, those bulletins were very helpful because you get a very gist of every current affairs, every important current affairs. And I used to attend the classes daily. I would say I was very consistent around the year. I used to find little
Consistency,
time to study,
yeah,
but
consistency over it, like so discipline over motivation. You have to
yeah,
say like show up daily. Yeah, please continue.
yeah, sure. Then for science, I did read NCRTs from class 11th and 12th. I didn't have maths in 11th and 12th, so I did a very little from YouTube and all. And some maths, there was some maths from the this also, but from LegalEdge also. But उसमें 11th or 12th की ही maths आती है.
Yes, yes.
So that was quite tough, but it went through well.
I
Science was good. Then
uh
rest, everything was taught in the classes.
yes, I remember
So that was
remember
not that tough.
discussing with actually the concerned teammates that to ensure that the mocks replicate that level because most of the entrances would they actually test you with say like 10th grade maths, and science are more like generic questions. But IIT KGP genuinely tests you with say like 11th and 12th grade. So I understand that the team was putting in a lot of effort to ensure that whatever is reaching you guys is extremely relevant and useful. And thanks for highlighting bulletin. Like I keep asking students that guys give us like more feedback, what more can be done, how more can be improved. I keep telling them like a very extremely feedback driven organization. So the more effort, it's always like a two-way effort. So we enjoy playing a part in your journey, and the more you'll come to us that listen, I think this can be done or this is going great, we'll be more than happy to incorporate. Plus, but you the best part about it, they're extremely consistent, and the kind of background that you come from, everything was in the very first phase supremely alien to you. So from
Yes, ma'am.
there to picking up things and consistently showing up for classes, it's a great job. And I am extremely excited to have like a student at IIT KGP, or other Elysians would also be joining you at IIT KGP. And I'm waiting for like each one of you to send pictures. Like last question, suggestions. So you were balancing multiple entrance examinations, and you're like your priority very clear that listen, this is my P1. Something that I think students miss out on. So they should ideally target a bucket of examinations because these examinations are extremely competitive, but then they should have a priority in ahead. So suggestions or anything for students will be appearing for LLB entrances in 2027, and also add like a little bit of that law is worth it, because I think there are a lot of students who are still deliberating whether they should make that career switch or not.
Ma'am, I think it's worth it if you are ready for it, because it's a very demanding career. And if you're eager to do it, eager to learn and study, then I think it's a good career
Okay,
for,
great.
yeah,
And
for
suggestions?
growth. I think it's good for growth if you want that.
Definitely, it offers you a lot of opportunities, and you can always leverage your undergrad once with law. Once you'll actually, so your undergrad will complement law, and both the degrees are complementary in nature, more or less. And for students who will be appearing for in 2027,
Yes, ma'am. Again.
suggestions for students will be appearing in
Okay,
2027
so
in terms of
suggestion
preparation.
I would say you should be you should go thoroughly, should learn thoroughly everything, and what is taught in class, please study that. I think that is enough. That is quite enough, except for the science and the maths part. The four other sections, reasoning, GK, and law, the RSMs, the lectures are quite enough,
Science
because
and
I
maths
don't
are
have to study
largely,
anything extra
yes. Science
there.
and maths are
And
largely taken care of by the mocks and say like YT
yeah,
marathons and everything. Okay. It's always fun interacting with you, Deepika. I think I also enrich my knowledge base studying about your undergrad and postgrad degrees. It's always fun interacting with you. Thank you so much for your time. And yeah, of course, looking forward to having you blast at IIT KGP as well. Thank you
thank
so
you so
much.
much, ma'am. Thank you so much.